I'm Barry Sherriff and I'm a partner at Norton Rose Australia, a national law firm, and practice solely in occupational health and safety and have done for many years. I will be speaking at the upcoming Safety in Action conference at the Exhibition Centre on the 6th of April, and I'll be talking about the model OHS laws, or work health and safety laws as they'll be described. Well, currently we have 9 different primary OHS acts right around Australia. All of the states, territories and the federal government have separate laws, and they're quite different in some ways. What will happen from 1 January next year is that we will have the same law everywhere around Australia. It will still be state and territory based, jurisdictional based, but the law will be the same everywhere. The main issues have been a clearer understanding by people of what obligations they already have, but are better expressed in the legislation, and some of the obligations they already have come as quite a surprise to them. That just demonstrates how the law isn't working now and why the new laws will be a lot clearer and a lot better for them. So that's one issue. The other issues are the key changes, and the most significant one I've found, but very well received, has been the change to a positive duty for officers to exercise due diligence, requiring them to be actively involved in safety, to understand what's required for the business and to make sure it's actually happening. In that, there's been some misunderstanding on who the officers are, and there's been some unfortunate misinformation out there suggesting that middle managers and supervisors might be. They're not officers. It's the board, it's the executive management. The other side of it is having left it, generally tending to leave it to the experts in the company, lower down in the organisation. There's a need for them to understand what it really means and what they ought to be doing. The other issue of greatest significance is the requirement for a business to cooperate, consult and coordinate their activities with other businesses who are involved in the same work. And I'm finding that has shown up gaps in that very practical area of communication and engaging with other people to make sure that safety is properly and effectively coordinated. Yes, up until now, officers can only be guilty second-hand if the company's guilty and it's because they've done something that is directly related to it. So for that reason, officers haven't really felt any need to do anything for safety. They've seen it as a technical area, which is lower down in the organisation. And I liken it to a glass floor where the board and even the executive looks down and says, oh, that's very interesting, but we've got people to do that. And that sort of approach doesn't necessarily help drive a positive safety culture or accountability up and down the organisation. You need to drive it from the top. So the new positive duty of care will require the officers, those at the very top, to actually take the effort to understand what safety means for their business, what is needed for safety in their business, and to actively see that it is implemented and that there are auditing and reporting processes that confirm it's happening. So they'll need to be actively involved, but also it means that they'll need information up to them which will be provided right through the organisation, and all of a sudden safety is very, very important because those at the top want to know about it. Well, the first thing is to understand what the law will actually mean for them, and it'll mean different things for different businesses. The second thing is then, well, understanding what we have to do. What are we already doing? Where are the gaps? What do we need to do to move forward? And that's a lot of the work that I've been doing in identifying those gaps and helping to fill those gaps and modify policies and training for information and so forth. Then, having identified what they need to do, get on and do it. Time is ticking.